Welcome back to Mimas. This is 54 Bear with the Complete Idiot's Guide to Stationeers, and we are actually working on the greenhouse. Of course, the most important thing is it is painted green because it is a greenhouse. I have added an additional radiator to the cooling system in the power shed, and I'm only running 2 of the Stirlings. And that's because I had put some hotter gas in, about 500 degrees or 450, something like that. It's currently down to 230. I could at this stage turn on more of the Stirlings, but to be honest, all that does is it generates the power faster. From what I can tell, if you had 1 Stirling running for 4 times as long, it would generate the same as 4 running for a shorter period of time. It all comes down to the amount of thermal energy there is in the hot tank, and one Stirling engine will pull it out a quarter of the speed of 4 of them at the price of overheating the environment. Anyway, 2 seems to be optimal. The cooling system can keep up with it at that level. I will be putting in some much hotter stuff later, but for now this is fine. It's not enough to power the base, but it certainly is supplementing the batteries. So where are we now? 36 on those 2. This one's a little more. I can top that up by turning this on. That will begin to drain this a little, and in a few minutes it will fill up those. Now, cooling. I don't know whether this is going to work, but I kind of like the placement of them. So I'm going to try this. It may end up being a catastrophic disaster, but as with all new greenhouses, you don't put all your seeds in the mix at the beginning. Now, in order to get the pipe there, I can either run it over the top and whatever, but I don't really want to do that because there's going to be at least one other tank up here. That'll be for the oxygen that gets harvested. And potentially I might even put a volatile tank up here if I have the composter connected or right adjacent to the greenhouse. Don't really know yet. Of course, I could even move this the black tank. That's got nitrogen in it. The nitrogen came from just crushing a load of water ice. Some of the plants need nitrogen, so I will need to add that into the greenhouse. Doesn't have to be too much, but just a little will help. Also, it's pretty good at diluting the atmosphere. You don't actually need that much oxygen in it. Okay, those batteries are probably close enough to being charged. Shut that off. Of course, I don't have any logic on any of this system right now. Yeah, we'll just let this run. I could go in there and connect the other 2 up, but to be honest, this is fine. Once it gets down to less than 100 degrees Celsius, you really don't get that much bang for the buck. At the moment, I'm generating 940 watts, so yeah, not a huge power gain. Once I get the solid fuel, the gas fuel generator built, it may actually go in here. The exhaust for the gas fuel generator, as far as I remember, comes out really hot. So that will probably just store in one of the tanks, maybe even add a new tank, I don't know. And you know, the heat in the exhaust can get used for that. Right now, the only thing that's been run through these Stirlings is pure carbon dioxide. So all of that carbon dioxide can get pumped up there. And the method of pumping it up will probably make quite a few of you slap your heads. So facepalm alert. Yes, it's hideous, and I absolutely love it. All right, so the bright pink pipe is what I call the manifold. That takes input, or output rather, from the CO2 filter This CO2 filter can be fed from either the blue cooling tank or the brown waste tank connected to the furnace. So I think we've pulled all the CO2 out of those. I have a couple of additional filtration units over there pulling out nitrous oxide and oxygen. They're running really slowly. I may actually go and put a couple of volume pumps on the outputs like I did here. That seems to speed things up a little. I've disconnected this pipe here purely because this grey pipe is connected directly to the 2 carbon dioxide tanks I have, and I didn't want to run the risk of me screwing up this system in air quotes, by putting in pollutants or something inadvertently. So the idea is this manifold is the thing that connects the 2 tanks together. In addition to that, I have the cooling tank coming in here and the waste tank coming in here. This is for when I want to start processing some of the non-CO2 gases. So they don't need to go through the carbon dioxide filtration. This will probably stay here, or I might move it outside. Don't really know, depends how pushed for space I get. But with this series of valves, I can fill up one tank while using the other tank to run gases through, and conceivably I can be running, or I can be filling one with carbon dioxide and having either of these 2 tanks, the brown or the blue tank, filter through this manifold and into the purple pipes. Purple pipes are the ones that connect these ones. So if I want to do the blue one, for example, I'd open this valve, and that puts it into the manifold. And to get it into the purple pipe, I'd throw this valve. So it would come. I mean, I could always run it through the volume pump, but these things use an awful lot of gas. So it would come along this way, down here, through here. So it would actually go through 3 valves. It would reduce the flow, but flow isn't the important thing. It's the temperature. And the more gas you have, the slower it takes for the temperature to actually drop. Okay, so yes, it is working just very slowly, but it is 100% efficient on temperature. Okay, right. Didn't really want to go into the power shed. We're not really doing anything on that. It's not complete, but it is working well enough for what I wanted. Bearing in mind the idea was that it would actually generate a little bit of power, but at the same time it would also cool the gas. So we're getting like a double use thing out of it. All right, so I'm going to pull these walls out because I'm going to run the pipes up between here. That is the idea. Now, unfortunately on this one, because of the way I have routed this black pipe, I don't get a way of connecting it, and there's a fair amount of nitrogen in there. I don't really want to get rid of it all just yet. Oops, let's have a look. So, yeah, 10,000 or 10 kilomoles. So, yeah, fair bit, and it's a good temperature as well. Theoretically, you could actually use that for the cooling as well, but I don't want it getting like hot, and I'm not too familiar with the thermal properties of nitrogen, so I'm just going to leave that end of the radiator unconnected. As far as I know, it doesn't leak, so at least that's what we hope. Right, so I want a T-piece there, facing inwards, one there, and we'll just do a round one there. Right, so these ones need to come in.
Power low.
Now I'm going to reroute this carbon dioxide pipe. Right, let's do that now. Why does that go out there? Oh, of course, that's where it's connected. Right. So that will probably come down here. Yeah, see, this one has to come out one before it goes in. Let's see. Well, this will have to go. And this will have to go. As all that and that. Okay, so I'm going to be out of pipe. What a surprise. Okay. So, yeah, I'll probably put this one on this side. Okay, do I have any more pipe laying around? No, I don't. Yes, I do. Well, only 13, but it might be enough. That facing towards, yes. Okay, so that will connect there. I'll have to do this one as well. I guess I will have to do it here. And you guessed it, I'm one piece of pipe short. Always the way. I shall grab 10, then leave it running. So how many mushroom seeds? Can't remember what day I put these mushrooms in. But there's still 8 litres of water in there. It started with 11, so this will go for a long period of time. Right, so I'm just letting these decay because we're going to need something to make fertilizers. Okay, wait for that to seed. Good. More tomato seeds, always good. Right, I'm not going to make any tomato soup just yet, but I am keeping hold of the tomatoes and I will try planting them. Okay, and let that seed. missed the fact that we got a full stack. Okay, right, so the override switch is active, so I will leave and everything stays running. I got really fed up with having to make solid fuel all the time because I kept screwing up the amount of, or times I would leave and have absolutely everything turned on. Alright, so we will go with the pressure regulator there, we'll go with the digital valve, digital valve, digital valve. That will have to move, but that's okay. And yeah, we should be good. Okay, let me pull this off. I can live somewhere else in the meantime. Okay. So we are going to want digital valves. There. Which way is the power going to come? I think it really matters. That is the wrong way round. Oh, no, it would be the right way round. There we go. Right, so yeah, want the pressure regulator there, pressure regulator there. Right, leave that set to 0 for the moment, just so that I don't balls things up. Yeah. Where do I want to put the trying to think where I want to put the gas sensor. I'll put it there, I think. Okay, so my digital valves will control access to the cooling system. Having the cooling radiators kind of embedded in the thing might not give the best cooling, but let's have them green because we're in the greenhouse. Oh, they're going to stay green, that's fine. Oh, that would have changed all the inside ones as well, wouldn't it? Oh, that's fine. Completeness, we'll do this one as well. There we go. Of course, the gas might get confused now because it's the wrong color. There we go. So theoretically, we're kind of ready to go. I don't have the programming done yet, or more accurately, I have not put in mix program yet, because I am not smart enough or clever enough to figure out how to automate Harveys myself. To be honest, I've never used them. I think I've built 2 or 3 before, but I always ended up standing in front of them and pushing the button to get them to harvest. And yeah, kind of defeated the purpose of having an automated system. What are we doing at the moment? 300, well, I can read it easier from here. 368 watts. And temperature is down to 140. Yeah, it's going to continue to decline. But, you know, we're cooling down the gases. I still need to get a bunch more coolant up there. But rather than run it from the waste tank into the coolant tank to cool it down, I'll probably, using the blue pipe over here, I'll run the blue tank through. Well, you don't actually, that's a misnomer. You don't run it through, you just connect it to it and it will cool down that tank. So you don't have to pump it all in, work on it and then pump it out. I was doing that with the carbon dioxide because, to be honest, when I started building this, I didn't really understand how the Stirlings worked in the game. I kind of understand how Stirlings work in the real world better than I do in the game, which is kind of weird. Anywho, yeah, that's the progress for the future. I'm kind of okay for ores. Haven't gone mining for quite a bit, which is good. Makes for lousy content. And I should actually monitor the internal atmosphere of the HAB. 16% nitrogen, 60 oxygen, and 24 CO2. So we're doing quite okay with the CO2. Those mushrooms, I think, are keeping up with the amount of crops I have right now, which is more than enough to keep me fed, although I stopped growing potatoes a while ago. Okay, so we're kind of ready to go here. Now, I did put a lot of oxygen into this tank. And of course I completely forgot to set up any filtration to pull the nitrogen out. The idea is here we're going to be mixing fuel. Don't have anything in there right now. And set up the gas fuel generator either in this area here, or I might actually try plonking it directly in there. Save building a separate thing for it. It's going to require a load of cooling, but I figure if it runs by itself, the cooling system that's set up for the Stirlings might actually be enough for it. I don't know. We'll find out. Right, so I will need to go and get a bunch more oxide because I don't really feel like pumping all that stuff out of there. I mean, I could do, but that's a fair bit of pipage, and for a one-shot deal, probably not worth it. Although, if I had that as the main oxygen storage, it gives me an excuse to run some ridiculously long pipe lengths, which would look kind of silly. So I think that's what we're going to do, because silly is always good. Yeah, so if it comes up along there and go between these ones, that'd be a bit awkward. Well, kind of jump up on top of this one. Gonna need a lot more pipe. I feel excited about this. We should definitely do it. Alright, so what am I short on? Steel. Well, that I should have a fair amount of. Huh. Actually, I don't. There shouldn't be anything in there. One thing I didn't realise with this stuff is that what you pick up you can't replant. So, yeah. And pretty much the only use for this is turning into fertiliser. You do get a lot of it. And my pumpkins are slowly turning to... But in order to accelerate the process, I'm going to build a little hut. What did I... Yeah, steel we're out of, isn't it? Oh, that's right, yeah, I used all the steel to produce that stuff. I have 14 grams of steel left. Roll. Alright, so I guess we're going to be doing a little bit of smelting first. No problem. Alright, let's put some of this stuff away. So I'm not carting ridiculous amounts of stuff around where I don't need to. Yeah, I could really do with some more storage. I won't dump everything in here. Actually, that can live in there. And we'll just dump a lot of the stuff that we don't actually want. Right. Do I have any iron? Yes, I do. Good. Alright, so... I don't really know if I should do all of them. Alright, 735, I think that's good. Make certain it's closed. See, it's crazy. Pressure's not going up. Temperature's not going up. And there we go. Steel. You know, I'm going to keep it at that. I shall keep a couple of coal standing by, just in case. Alright, just have to wait for it all to finish. Whilst that's going on, I can get going with the pipage. Right, so what's going to look the silliest? Of course, I could do the piping if I had the pipe with me. Uh-oh. Finished. It appears to. All right. Well, it's going to look the silliest because we have to get it over there somehow. Let's see if I bring it through that way. Do I want it connected to my little survival hut? Because I already have that white square down there. That has a lot of oxygen in it. Don't really know if I need to connect to it at all. You know what? I'm going to think about that. Anyway, I shall wrap it up for here. I will figure out whether I'm going to go completely bananas on that oxygen piping or whether I shall come up with another solution. Join me next time and find out. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe, all that good stuff. And I'll catch you in the next one. 54 Bear out.